Welcome back to my channel, guys. I was not planning on making this video. This is a spontaneous video. In fact, I don't like to release videos back to back like this. I just put out a video yesterday at the time that I'm making this. But it's official. There's an update to this whole Florida saga of removing rainbow crosswalks across the state and any kind of public LGBT signage. It's basically a mandate at this point. I'll put my last video related to this up here in case you aren't up to date with this, but essentially, this began with a rainbow crosswalk outside of a memorial for a gay club shooting years ago in Orlando, Florida. And that led to now this string of other cities next on the list. And Miami Beach was one of those cities. The local city of Miami Beach tried to appeal this decision, or this mandate rather. And that was the last update about a month ago. Well, last night I went for a run in Miami Beach and I saw all this commotion happening on Ocean Drive, which is like the busy touristy street in Miami Beach. So I thought that's kind of weird. Why is there construction happening? They're like excavating something or demolishing. I just assumed it was like a random plumbing issue because why would that happen on a Sunday night and it's not even daytime anymore? It was very bizarre. And as I'm running on the boardwalk, I noticed these rainbow flags dangling between palm trees, and I thought that's weird. It's not gay pride. Like there wasn't like a parade, so why are there randomly these rainbow flags hanging? And it dawned on me that the construction that was happening, that was causing this traffic, I guess, where the entire street was closed off, it was on the block where the rainbow crosswalk is. So it clicked for me like, oh, it must be related to that. I walked over, and sure enough, it was very dramatic. They were like excavating this block. They were demolishing really the entire crosswalk, digging under to remove all of the entire rainbow crosswalk. I guess they couldn't paint over it, which seems strange to me, but I don't know. Maybe the cobblestones themselves were colored. But it was very dramatic, the scene. The entire crosswalk was covered in like tractors and police cars. It was a lot. And it clicked for me that the rainbow flags must have been sort of like a protest from people who, probably the local government, representatives who knew that the appeal had already been lost for the city of Miami Beach. So when I came home, I looked into it, and it turns out the Florida Department of Transportation, FDOT, came through on Sunday night, and they were like, Miami, you lost your appeal. We're just going to take care of this ourselves. It's interesting because I mentioned in my last video on this subject that I'm not personally invested in rainbow crosswalks, but I have to say it was kind of jarring to see this dramatic removal, a construction site for the sake of getting rid of what the state of Florida is calling a safety hazard. It felt kind of disingenuous, and to think that like tax money and they're obstructing uh, traffic flow for the sake of a safety hazard. By the way, this morning I went for a run again and I passed the area and they covered it with black, I guess, asphalt. So it still looks unusual. It doesn't look like other crosswalks in that vicinity. So in my mind, I'm like, that's just as much of a safety hazard. If anything, the rainbow crosswalk before was kind of faded, so it blended more into the street. I don't buy this whole thing about safety hazards. This is the state of Florida really trying to send a message to not just gay people, but I think minority groups. I think to progressive, you know, um, progressive politics oriented Floridians, as well as local governments like the city of Miami Beach, which is notoriously pretty liberal, at least socially liberal. I mentioned in my last video that I was wondering if Florida was really going to take this seriously and really commit to this, or if they were just kind of virtue signaling. And clearly they are taking this seriously, and they're really trying to make a point. It makes me wonder what's next. That same street, Ocean Drive, super touristy street in Miami, a few blocks from there has a really famous gay bar and club called Palace, where they do drag queen shows all day. And it made me wonder, are they going to remove that next? Because, you know, it's a distraction from traffic. It's always really loud. It draws a crowd. And it's such a busy touristy street that I really did think to myself, like, is this the next thing that they're going to start banning these kinds of establishments from busy touristy areas, or, you know, places busy with traffic? I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you think about this. Do you have an opinion? Do you think a video like this is over dramatic? Really seeing this whole construction site, I mean, it was kind of jolting to see that much effort being made over something seemingly so insignificant to me. You know, a rainbow crosswalk. Let me know in the comments what you think, and I'll catch you next time.